Most men don't lose love. They lose clarity. And when clarity disappears, every warning sign starts looking like chemistry. Because attraction is loud, but patterns are honest. Tonight, we're not judging her. We're reading patterns, quietly, calmly, before your future gets expensive. Your weakness isn't her beauty, it's your speed. When you're attracted, you start negotiating against yourself. You explain away small discomfort because part of you wants to win her. You accept vague answers because you don't want to look insecure. You move faster than your standards, then call it confidence. But quiet standards are not insecurity, they're self-control. Chemistry can be a fog. It makes intensity feel like destiny. It makes late replies feel mysterious. It makes inconsistency feel exciting. And if you're not careful, you'll confuse a nervous system spike with real compatibility. A disciplined man doesn't interrogate, he observes. He asks clean questions once, then listens for clarity, not charm. He watches how she speaks about people, how she handles no, how she treats small boundaries. If you're serious about commitment, stop chasing intensity and start measuring stability. Because the future doesn't care how romantic the beginning felt, it cares what happens when life gets heavy and the mask gets tired. Now, let's name the real villain. It isn't her past, it's a culture that rewards performance over repair. Attention is everywhere. Validation is cheap and addictive. A few likes can feel like power. A few DMs can feel like options. So many people learn to live like they're being watched, even when they're alone. That's how relationships become a stage. Curated photos, polished stories, selective truth. Everyone has a story, but few have accountability. And when accountability feels heavy, drama starts to feel normal. Small conflicts become big scenes. Boundaries become control, and simple requests become pressure. Watch the loop. Late night scrolling after an argument, posting for reassurance, comparing your relationship to highlights online. If she can't sit in silence without reaching for attention, that's not a moral failure, it's information. Your job is to spot whether she wants a partnership or an audience. Because an audience claps when you suffer. A partner helps you build. A partner doesn't need constant outside proof of worth. She creates worth with you in private. Here's the psychological rule you can trust. Under stress, people return to their defaults. That's why patterns matter more than explanations. Anyone can sound wise when life is calm. The real test shows up when she's disappointed, corrected, or gently told no. Healthy people repair. Unstable dynamics repeat. This is where attachment shows itself, not as a label, but as a habit. Some people chase when anxious, some disappear when uncomfortable, some stay present and communicate. So look for 3 signals. First, conflict style. When tension rises, does she get curious or does she escalate? Second, responsibility. Can she say, I contributed to this, without turning it into a speech? Third, repair. After friction, does she move toward clarity, apologies, boundaries, solutions? Or does she punish with silence, sarcasm, and distance? You're not collecting evidence to accuse, you're measuring readiness, because a long-term alliance is built on repair, not perfection. Now, the core lesson. Evaluate patterns, boundaries, and repair. Not charm, not promises. Repeat it. Patterns, boundaries, repair. First, patterns over promises. Don't evaluate her words. Evaluate what she repeats. Promises are easy. Patterns cost energy. If you see it once, note it. If you see it twice, believe it. Second, family signals. Without blaming her childhood, ask yourself what felt normal in her home. Was conflict resolved or recycled? Was respect consistent or conditional? If a home was calm, people often burn calm. If a home was chaotic, chaos can feel familiar, unless someone has trained themselves out of it. And watch the mother dynamic, not to judge the mother, but to notice the template of respect, boundaries, and tone. Third, lifestyle and attention boundaries. Some environments create constant attention. That doesn't automatically make someone untrustworthy, but it does require structure, clear limits, transparent communication, and choices that protect the relationship when no one is watching. Fourth, past relationships and accountability. Ask how things ended and listen for ownership. If every ex was the problem, you're hearing avoidance. But if she can say, here's what I did, here's what I learned, here's what I changed, that's maturity. Also, notice pacing. Too much intensity too soon, then sudden withdrawal, often isn't romance, it's a cycle. Healthy bonding is steady. Fifth, trust boundaries. If she has ever crossed a major line of fidelity, don't attack her. Simply ask what changed, what boundaries exist now, and what she does to protect trust. A future is built on safeguards, not excuses. Sixth, her circle. Friends are a mirror. If her closest people normalize drama, reckless choices, or constant flirtation, that influence will visit your relationship. And if there's a best friend who blurs lines, clarity matters early. Seventh, conflict and worldview. Wait for the first real disagreement. Does she look for resolution, or does she keep score? Does she take responsibility, or does she outsource blame to energy, fate, or everyone else? Beliefs are personal, but accountability is non-negotiable. Eighth, integrity in small things. Watch actions versus slogans. If she says family matters, but her life is built around constant validation, that's a gap. Look at daily discipline, follow through, tidiness, keeping promises, repairing quickly after mistakes. Patterns, boundaries, repair. Big love is built from small reliability. Now, seal this in your mind. You're not choosing a moment, you're choosing a pattern that will touch your peace, your focus, your future. So move slower than your emotions. Ask clean questions. Observe calmly. A steady relationship should make life feel simpler, not louder. And remember, the right partner doesn't demand that you ignore your instincts. She respects your standards, and she shows consistency when attention is removed. If something feels off early, don't argue with your intuition. Respect it. Because clarity is not cold. Clarity is protection. Some people feel like the ocean in a storm, loud, thrilling, unstable. Others feel like deep water, quiet, steady, powerful. Because storms are exciting for a night. Deep water carries ships for years. Your future won't be shaped by the biggest waves, but by the deepest consistency. Before you commit, ask yourself, does this bring peace or noise?